on research analyst. Before we begin the seminar, may I request all to rise for the national anthem, please. Before we begin the seminar, a quick update on what Forum has been doing, and thank you very much for coming in large numbers. We as the BSE Brokers Forum has been conducting various seminars, even as all of you know. Sometimes we have less participation, sometimes we have more participation, and this time, yes, we are looking at a very good number over here. We at least do around 4 to 5 different seminars a month, picking the topics which our member brokers are most affected with. We even started the concept of webinar, as you know, because we had got a very good feedback from members across India to have such seminars at their location. Because of constraint due to cost and everything, we started this concept of webinar and it's picked up very well. All over India, or rather all over the world, you can see this webinar, live webinar. On this year's highlight, we have been very strong in representing our concerns and issues and feedback to the regulators, the stock exchanges on timely manner. We have been also very aggressive on the forum's investor education and awareness initiative, in which we have covered more than 200 institutions, colleges and universities, propaganda, safe investment, what is stock exchange, supporting the PhD students, capital market students, coming out with operations manual and various other things. Of course, the forum views which comes onto your desk on monthly basis is one of the key initiation, and which is the face of the forum to our member brokers and to the capital market intermediaries at large. So these are the things on small notes. Forum has been pushing itself aggressively for the betterment and the progress of member. And today's one such seminar is today of research analysts. We were surprised that when we rolled out this seminar and we sent email across, we've been bored by so many queries and concerns that what exactly is going on in this topic, what are the SEBI concerns, what are the issues, how are we going to be affected as brokers. And in fact, Mr. Bhavesh Vora himself is over here, who himself got so many calls and queries. So we thought, let him call over here. The flow would be, we begin the seminar at 4:30 to 5:30, he'll be presenting, and the last half an hour would be kept for Q&A. And by 6 o'clock, we'll be wrapping up the seminar. Other follow-up questions and everything, what we have requested Mr. Vora is to even grace our magazine, so it becomes a ready reckoner for my members, which comes in the March edition. You can have a look at what research analysis is all about also, and you can have Q&A and everything further. Before I call upon Mr. Vora, allow me to read his brief profile. Mr. Bhavesh Vora, he is a practicing chartered accountant with more than 24 years of experience working in the field of stockbrokers, audits, SEBI compliances, derivatives, futures and options, accounting standards and internal and management audit areas. Presently senior partner of the firm MSBY and Associates, offering services in various areas of capital market and NBFCs. As a member involved as a regular faculty at the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India in discoursing speeches, lectures and seminars from many years, and visited several parts of the country for the same. He is a guest speaker at RBI, University of Mumbai and various other leading institutions, including the Income Tax Department. He has co-authored and written papers on regards to technical guide at CTCL IML audit of stockbrokers and internal audit of stockbrokers. He has co-authored guidance note on audit of account of members of stock exchange issued by CIA, and couple of articles in Vyapar and Business Today, to name a few. He is also on various committees, right from the ICAI, NSE, BSE, SEBI and RBI. On that note, please welcome Mr. Bhavesh Vora.
where 50 questions I have received. So friends, very intelligent and skillful members of a stockbroking industry. Normally when we address the compliance personnel or members from stockbroking industry, we always say you are very powerful, intelligent and influential because you are a connecting link between a shareholder and the company. So I am indeed very fortunate today that I will be speaking to you on the very complex topic of research analyst. When I decided, when Aditya telephoned to me that okay, I'll have to speak on this subject, I thought, oh, it's 32 pages act, it will not take much time. The more and more I went into the act, I felt the Income Tax Act would have been easier to read and address rather than Research Analyst Act. And the questions which I have received from so many participants, including the participants who are on webinar, they have added fuel to the fire. They have raised so many questions, about 50 questions I have received. And up to 3 o'clock today I was receiving the questions. And ultimately 3 o'clock, 3:15 I stopped. Otherwise I thought people will be traveling and putting the questions to me so they can get answers here. So what we will do, friends, as far as compliance is concerned, all of you are from broking industry. You see nowadays from 1995, we eat compliance, we sit compliance, we drink compliance, everything is compliance. Our life today has become compliance based. As you enter the office, there is a compliance code of conduct that how you should enter the office. If you exit the office, there is a code of conduct how you should exit the office. So all of us who are mainly in the compliance of a broking industry or connected one way or other to a broking industry have become a checklist robot. When I say checklist robot means each and every of our act has been now become rule based rather than principle based. And if you see the evolution of the law of SEBI, everything what they have been prescribing today is everything rule based. How many times you should read, what paper you should see, what paper you should not see. Effectively, only I think one thing they have not said, that now we are going to put a TV camera in your office and we will have the control IP address at our office and we can watch what is happening. Apart from that, everything virtually been happening. In this backdrop, friends, our life is becoming too taxing. Our freedom is becoming too taxed that what is to be done. And when some law comes, if there are 10 sentences, there are 20 interpretations. Earlier, if you see, the law was not so complex. Law was giving the principles. But of lately, last 5-7 years, you will see, law is giving the rules. And when you give the rules, it's like the police rules that you do this, you will get penalty. And now I think penalty also has become percentage based in many times. So in this backdrop, friends, understand that this research analyst regulation which has come, and to my mind 2014 was the year where highest regulation has come. I think they were also waiting that let market get revived and then we put regulations, otherwise nobody would have accepted. Like what is, I am still surprised that why this research analysis regulation, whether it was required or not required. And I think many of the questions also have been received that why we have been on a very policy or on a global or macro issues, whether as a broker we should be governed by research analysis regulations or not. Because once you enter the room, lots of other rules are applicable. But by and large, whether it should be applicable to us or not. Friends, let me tell you, if you go through these research analysis regulations, this research is not a very new phenomenon. earlier days research used to happen, and research was becoming a very important tool of making the person invest in the right script at the right time, and of course to liquidate. When I say invest, it is disinvestment also. So when we started with, there were many old broking firms who were doing a proprietary research. Then a very technical, fundamental and very qualitative research happened in the institutional side. From the institutional side, brokers went off to the HNI and the retail, and now the research is available on the website of many of the brokers. So to everybody in general. So this is how the research has traveled over a period from a very closed door research to open research. I am not here to say what is research all about, because it is not the subject. But one thing what I have noticed over a period, because I am seeing this industry for more than 20 years. I was telling that I used to come here to do the audit of the Soda book when the live Soda was going on the same place where we are all sitting today. In last 20 years, why it is available? Because there is evidence of information is available. And today's research, I don't know whether it's an information or a knowledge. Because if you see the research report, which is many times available on the website of the company, I think it is nothing but a fine compilation of various data. It is not a knowledge based. So with this, I think there is a change in the research move. If you see, in earlier days there was a pure research, and in good old days, getting the information presenting in the right way was the research. In today's time, getting the information presenting in the right way is available in one click away on anywhere you say Google, everything is available. But whether the research is available, I think that is big change which happened in the whole activity of the research from information to a knowledge-based research, which we are not debating as of now. But this is how the difference is. If you see the research report or research tip, now the tip word has become very old. Now it is going in the research that we give technical call, we give SMS. Now your SMS on technical call and your detailed research report, there is a vast difference. Whether the client is aware about it. When you send a technical call on a mobile or on an email or available on your website, and there is a detailed research report, what is the difference? Any of the broker member or any of us, whether have analyzed that, is a point to be seen. Nonetheless, I am not here to really see what should be the right research. But the one question always comes to our mind that whether as a broker we are required to be regulated for research. And I am aware that there were representation which has gone when the consultative paper has come of this research analyst somewhere in November 2013. And I think lots of representation has gone. I am sure from BSE also would have gone, from BSE Broker Forum, that why it should be applicable to the brokers. Why research should be applicable to brokers. Now by and large, if you see friends, as I told you, the research per se has changed its level from a gathering of information to a data accumulation. So research is not what we are looking for today. The other thing is, the code of conduct of a SEBI for a stockbroker is already saying that I, as a broker, I will not perform any activity to get the brokerage. If I am giving investment advice, it should be suitable for that particular client. Now, if the code of conduct of a broker is covering the principle, whether it was required to come out with this act, we don't know. And then it is very detailed. So, if these research analysis regulations are applicable, what will happen to that code of conduct? Which the SEBI code of conduct, where everybody who is coming in brokerage firm, the first day you read the SEBI code of conduct for a stockbroker. They will clearly define the broker will not do any activity to get the brokerage or induce somebody to get his business. In this backdrop, whether research analyst regulation was required is a fundamental question before we go in the detail. Second and important thing is, even I think 2011 or 12 somewhere, the unauthenticated news circular came that in the broker's office, if any employee has been giving some unauthenticated news, then it should be monitored by a compliance team. Now in all this, whether research for a broker should be exempted or not exempted, friends, today it has become the history. Now the regulation is already on the statute and we have no options but to follow the regulations. Now when I say this, please understand that how many research, I have get 50 questions, more than 50 about. Let us understand that what are the research activities available. And when I receive the question, let me tell you, I could find one more thing. Every organization has a different research initiative, different research report, different relations with the client, different way of working, different way of remunerating the research person. So let us first understand broadly that what are those research today. Now the broker gives the research to the clients free of cost. Are anybody charging? To my mind, no. It is available as an extra service to a client. Now when I am giving to a client, I may be giving to institutional client, I may be giving to a retail client, HNI client, or I may be uploading on my website. This is what I used to do. But there is another research houses who get paid for the research they have made. So SEBI, by enacting this law, has slowly given two different roads to these different regulations. That if the research report, for a research, if you are being paid, then please go to investor advisor regulations. So if you are collecting something for giving the research report, then you have to refer to a investment advisor regulations. But if you are giving a service to a client without getting anything, then you have to come to research analyst. But when the person will come that if I am not getting anything, then why there has to be regulations? There is a fear, or there are the reports where I am getting direct or indirect benefit either as a brokerage or as some deal in my merchant banking or in some of my associate company. So I am not giving a unbiased research report and therefore this regulation is coming. So there is no independence. My motive is tainted. When I give research report to a client, though free of cost, so I am not getting directly anything from client, but there is indirectly I am getting a brokerage, or I get some deal in some of my other division, maybe underwriting division, merchant banking division, or any of other places. If I get benefit, that they want to plug, and that's why this research analyst regulation is coming. So what we will do, we have about 32 slides, but and we have about 40 minutes, so it will not be virtually possible to cover. We may cover in question answers, but we will definitely go through the content. All that has been summarized, so you can understand, and we can lay down the principles. So don't expect a classroom type of teaching, but I think when you go from here, you will know, what I know at least, if not much more than that. So this is what we are going to cover. So let us now come into this dragon, that where we stand as a research analyst. Commencement date is already it is commenced. So research analyst commencement date is 1st December 2014. So from this date, I cannot do the activity. So there was a fear, if you see on 2nd and 3rd of December, many of the big research houses or broking houses, they have stopped their activity. But there is a clarification there that if you are an existing research house, then the last item, transition period is allowed for up to 31st May 2014. It does not mean that you go on the last day of 31st May 2014 to file application. What you have to do, you have a time now up to 31st May 2014 to set right your affairs based on the regulations and then make application. Okay, I know there are so many questions. Say about whatever questions which I received prior to 2:30 today on my mail, then I try to cover, so we will have time from questions from the floor. Yeah? So this is the case. There was a fear that after 1st December and before I do the application, I should stop the business. Now there is some anomaly in the FAQ which we have received. There is an interpretation which we have seen that even if you are an existing research entity or you are already doing this research activity, but if you don't apply till the time, you should not do any research activity. But I think whenever there is a confusion in FAQ, one will have to go to the head, which FAQ also said in the preface, and they have said that as a research analyst, if there is existing research analyst, they will have a time up to 31st May 2014 to set right their affairs and then make applications. But friends, my advice to you, sooner the better, so you can start making the applications. Now to whom it is applicable? There are lots of questions which has come that to whom it is applicable. Now this is a fundamental question. Now if you see the act, here they are defined about the intermediaries. They also define our independent research analysts and the proxy advisors. So understand, as the intermediaries, our SEBI registered intermediaries are governed by this. Even if I am an independent research analyst, I have nothing to do with SEBI, then also there is a separate definition. So I am neither a broker, I don't have any registration of a SEBI, but I am involved in preparation of research report and distribution of research report, then also I am covered. And the new concept of proxy advisor has come, which is very, very unique. I don't know, many of you may be knowing that there are many firms or many companies who advise to a large shareholder about their rights of voting. What they do? Normally, they go through the balance sheets and the agenda item, and they will advise the institutional investor whether you should vote for this agenda, whether you should not vote for this agenda, what should be the question you should ask in the AGM, whether you should apply for rights and all that. Now they are also been covered as a proxy advisor. So by and large, this law is applicable to three entities, is intermediaries. Now whether within intermediaries, they will come in more detail. Independent advisors, research analysts, and proxy advisors. Now who are exempted? Now the exemption is to investment advisor, as I just said, that if I am giving a research report for a consideration of the fees, then I am investment advisor. So investment advisor is been out because there is a separate detailed regulations which is governing the investment advisor. Credit rating agencies are out. Asset management companies are out. When I say asset management, there is a AIF or AMCs or even the portfolio management, all these companies will be out. And fund managers who have been working for the asset management company, they will be exempted, provided they will have to still to require to go through chapter 3 of the regulations if they issue research report for their own circulated in a public. So if there is a portfolio manager who serves their client, but the research report is also available to you and me, and we are not paying, then that portfolio manager, though is not required to be registered under these regulations, but he will have to follow chapter 3. Now chapter 3 is the most complex part of the whole regulations. We will come to chapter 3. Okay? Now let us give you the definition of research analyst. There are three definitions, friends: research analyst, research entity, and independent research advisors. And we have to be very clear when we are putting a question, that on behalf of whom I am asking this. Okay, and why I am going through this, I think many of the questions will be there in your mind, will slowly get solved when we go slide by slide. Research analyst means a person who is primarily responsible for preparation or publication of the content of the research report, providing research report, making buy, sell, hold recommendations, giving price target or IPO, offering an IPO services. Now please understand, for what? For securities that are listed or to be listed. So if I do a research for unlisted security, then I am not covered. So there are so many investment bankers who do the research on a private equity. Okay? That is not listed and not today required to be listed, they may be out of this. Now they say that whether you say yourself as a research analyst or you don't say as a research analyst, but if you are doing this activity, you are covered. Okay, in whatever name. So if I say I am a management consultant or I am equity advisor, whatever name you say, it is activity based. So if you are covering this activity, yes, you are a research analyst. Then, research entity. Now SEBI has used this word, research entity. Research entity means, first of all, research is to be intermediary registered with SEBI. So if I am a management consultant not registered with SEBI, this definition is not for me. Research entity means an intermediary who is engaged in merchant banking or investment banking or brokerage services or underwriting services. So please understand, they have covered only for these services. Okay? So if you have these 4 licenses, then you are covered. So first of all, you should be intermediary. Either you should be merchant banking, investment banker, brokerage or underwriter. And you are issuing research report. Then you are a research entity. So for me becoming research entity, 3 tests has to be fulfilled. Test number 1, I should be intermediary. Test number 2, I should be intermediary who should be fall in these 4 categories. And number 3, I am issuing a research report. Then only as an intermediate I will fall. There are many questions which was asked to me that, and in the of course email which I have received, I have not replied of any of the email which we will cover now. That's all, we are not issuing any research report. But though also we are broker, are we covered? My answer to them is no. Because all these 3 conditions has to be satisfied. Yes. Now the second condition is a bit confusing. Now includes any other intermediary engaged in issuing a research report or research analysis. So what has happened? Very smartly they have added this one. So slowly in research entity, any other entity who gives this report also has been covered. Now they have used the word research report or research analysis. What do you mean by research report? I have got many queries today and yesterday that there are so many, these are the days of the results, right? So many results come every day. Now if you give your view on the result, whether it's a research report, because it comes quarterly. So what do you mean by research report by and large? Because today I give SMS, BTST, so and so. We give a detailed research report, we give technical analysis, we give index analysis. So whole point is, what one has to do, whether it is covered under research or it is not covered under research. The moot point one will have to understand that research report means any written or electronic communications include research analysis or research recommendations or an opinion concerning so and so, so and so. So even an email also is a research report. It should not be on only print media. Even email also is on a research report. So you say, okay, I am sending email, or I am sending a SMS, or I am allowing them to come on my blog. So many things people have written. But understand, electronic communications of various mode will be a research report. But understand again that now that research should be with respect to securities which are listed or to be listed. So if you are giving any research or any communication for which there is no listing, then you don't worry. So I give a macroeconomic outlook, I give a budget outlook, I give, okay, if the Kejriwal has come, how the country will, how the BJP will, whatever I give which is generic in nature, that will not be covered. And that's why you should read the exclusion in the research report. Comments on general trends in the security market. Discussion on broad-based indices, that is not covered. Commentaries on economic, political or market conditions. Now many times in the portfolio managers or AMC companies, the research department gives the research report to the fund manager, which never comes to you and me. Now that is also out, because that is for internal communication. It does not come to a public, right? So that also will be out. Internal communication will be out. Communications that constitute offer documents or prospectus will be out. Statistical summary of financial data of the company. Now here I would like to draw your attention that if today the quarterly result had come, you compile the quarterly results, you give some EPS, P ratios, market multiplications or market capitalization, all this, you have never seen that we buy good, whatever, nothing. Then still you will be out. But the line of demarcation is very slender. You have to understand that in this, when you do a quarterly analysis, you don't say that it has maintained the standard or the earlier price target is maintained, nothing of that sort. You give the analysis the way the line wants. Now technical analysis to demand supply in a sector or the index. So if you are giving a Nifty call, to my mind you should be out of this research analyst regulations. Any other comment which SEBI may specify? The next important point is, now the question one was asked is that if we give research report on a debt securities, whether it is covered. Let me tell you, securities as defined by Security Contract Regulation Act. So even debt, derivatives, bond, whatever research you do, that will be governed by this research analyst, because listed or non-listed securities. Already representation has gone to SEBI. If I give research for a derivative call or a future call, why I should be covered. But till the time clarification comes, please understand that whatever comes under definition of securities will be governed by the research report. Now this is also very surprising. Issuance of research report by a person located outside India. Many of the people move to Hong Kong and Singapore and wherever XYZ, and they are sending the research report there from there. Now, SEBI has in one line they have said that anybody who is giving research report from outside India, they don't register with us, but they will have to enter into agreement with a research analyst or research entry registered with this regulation. Now there is no further fact on this. I am surprised how this is really going to happen. So one person sitting in Hong Kong giving some research report to some HNI client in India or some fund sitting in India. Now it is his client and I am a registered research analyst. What agreement I will do with him? He is serving his client. So am I going to get any fees out of it? Not defined. Why I will take risk of vetting or validating his research report? Not defined. What should be terms of agreement? Not defined. If he has done agreement with me in India, what is my rights and liabilities? Not defined. So friends, we'll have to wait and watch and how this goes, in future. I think there is, to my mind, no clarity is there on even in FAQ. So this is the qualification of research analyst. Professor qualification, postgraduate diploma. I am not going in detail. First and second dot are or. So either you have a first or a second, and then you have NISM certification. That is must. So one question which has come to me was, here there was an anomaly in the act where they have written that you have a professional qualification or post-graduation of any of the university registered or governed by Indian regulator or Indian university or any of the Indian institution. So one query which was received by us is saying that what if he's a foreign, he has come from London School of Business or London School of Economics. He cannot be a research analyst? As of now, answer is no. But I think my suggestion to you or to whomsoever has made the query, that please apply with his name and with his disclosure to SEBI. I am sure the SEBI will definitely consider that even if he is from London School of Business or some foreign business schools, he should be allowed to be a research analyst if he has some experience and he has a good track record. But as of now, the Act does not allow if I have studied outside India. So many of you or your promoters' children who goes for MBA outside and come here and they have nothing to do, they become research analysts. Okay? So please tell them that either you pass some BCom degree and get some experience from the India till the time regulations changes. I have seen normally the promoters or the shareholders or stake owners or directors' children come as a research analyst. But there is a post today which is more celebrated in the broking industry. Now NISM certification also has to be done on a research analyst. But today only I was going through NISM site, but I could not find that is there a curriculum defined. I wanted to see what is the curriculum they have made, what is the syllabus in the research analyst. But till today morning, I could not find anything on NISM site, neither not connected to research analyst. So we'll have to wait and watch. And I don't know how I'll then do this exam I have passed. But to the existing research analyst, they have given time of 2 years. So not 2 years from the application, 2 years means from 1st December 2014. So you have to give the declaration to the SEBI while application that okay, we will clear the research analyst exam passed by, conducted by NISM. This is also one slide which all of you know, that what is the fee I have to pay? Normally, most of the brokers now is in category 3 who are doing a research. Very few who are in individual capacity or partnership firm capacity, who are in the first category. So, friends, we have to pay 5,50,000 to SEBI for getting this license. And this 50,000 fee is non-refundable. So by any chance, if your application is defective or you does not pass the test, then 50,000 is a sunk cost. On this basis, if you take 5,50,000, because the validity of is 5 years for certificate. So if you take this calculation, to my mind, every month you will have to give 9,000 rupees only to SEBI to get this license on. Apart from that, the compliance cost is evident, which we will now cover. But 9,000 is a direct cost which you have to now, from the date you get registration, you have to now start amortizing in your balance sheet. 9,000 I am going to give for a research. So when you really do calculation and why the research is benefiting to you or not, please also consider this registration cost. After this, I think we enter the most difficult part of the Act, which is chapter 3. I am not talking about page 3. Okay, I am talking about chapter 3 of the regulations, which is the most complex and many queries which has come from here, which talks first of all internal policies and procedures. So if you are covered, let me tell you, as I told you in beginning, the whole broking industry has become a checklist robot, policy robot. If you see KYC, 9 policies, XYZ policies. I don't know how many. To many of our broker clients, we have said, can you give me how many policies you have, how many policies are applicable? Go back to your office and find out, as a broking entity, how many policies are applicable. You will be surprised, you will miss 2 or 3. But please add this also if you are applying. Policies for research analyst. Now what that policy says, addressing actual or potential conflict, reliable research that reflect unbiased view, prevention of manipulating the market. So I have to define in my policy that what can be the probable conflict if my research analyst is a son or brother or relative of some company or some of the government employee or some ministry, then what he should do, what he should not do. Today he is not there, but tomorrow he gets married and wife is a daughter of some of the directors. So there is a future conflict. So what I have to do, so keep that also track. And not now, in future also if you become connected or there is a possible conflict of interest, then how you are going to cover. Now when I am talking of this, it is not the research analyst. Tomorrow if our company or research entity gets some other work from that particular company, some other division is getting some brokerages, how we are going to counter the potential conflicts. So if you list down, there are 20 conflicts which will come up. The next is unbiased view. Now I don't understand, when I give my opinion as a research analyst, I have passed the test. I am sure SEBI is not doing a swearing sworn-in procedure. Otherwise they will also say, okay, give me a sworn-in that whatever I am going to read is unbiased, without any influence, without any coercion, and I will not utter something. All that I think still it has not come. Then why unbiased? Why we need to believe the research analyst give a biased view? But the fact is, the law says that as a director or a compliance officer, it is your duty to find out that my research analyst has given unbiased view. I don't know how you are going to find out. He says, buy XYZ today. Now how do you find out? It's like, if I go and I say, of course to my wife, and I love you, what is the checklist to prove? I really don't know. But I think, because we have to write in the procedures and policy, you may have to write something like that, okay, there was no influence on the research analyst. He opted on his own. We didn't pressurize him to do the research in this particular script. The data whatever is gathered is based on factual information. The assumptions which he has been making is a logical. Okay, it is not like that tomorrow 2012 will happen, whole world will collapse, so do sell all the quantity. So assumption has to be logical. This is all we need to provide in the processes. Third is prevention from manipulating the market. This is very important, that you cannot give the call or research report by which the speculation start in the market. And for that, you should have a substance in your research report. Because you like it, you are saying buy it. So the whole point is, friends, now this is where the typical, when we have been discussing with the regulators about ethics in financial service sector, we did discuss these issues, that can we have ethics at home? It is by nature we have to follow ethics with our parents, or with our children, or with anybody. The time you bring ethics in a rule, there is an interpretation possible. Okay, similarly, when I say I am given that I feel that this is a good report and you should buy it, now it is out of my sixth sense. No, but then it is not allowed, because you have to give fundamental 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now the things will become like this, that because I like something today, I will prescribe that script, and then I will go and find the reason what will match to that script. Which otherwise SEBI want that you have the reasons and then you give the script. Okay, after that, you should have an independence of this research analyst from other activity. When you say independence means, normally, promoters, directors or sales, they say, you take this script and you research with a good script. Any research take birth from a tip. Okay, in many of times. I don't say in all the times. Now, then if there is no independence, means what is happening? The research analyst is trying to get your view and trying to confirm your view by his data. So there is no independence. So these are the small things one can go on discussing. He should have not independence of execution, he should have independence of idea also. That whatever I am thinking, I don't have influence of anybody. If I believe this script is not good, it is not good. It is good, it is good. Irrespective of whether my bosses tell me it is good, then also I have a right to say it is not good and I will not publish research report. That is what my independence. So we say independence by intent, not by act, should be the independence. This should be part of your policy. Okay, then there were some questions to me, friends, that what should be the policies cover of? Now policies should cover everything, so it will be about 15-20 pages policy. But if you want some of the data of policies, let me tell you, it should be how you are going to control and monitor these functions, number one. What should be the reporting norms, number two. What should be compensation policies, number three. How the research analyst take pre-approval, number four. After buying or selling the shares, how is going to inform and to whom it is going to inform. How you are going to do a record keeping. What are the rights, responsibility and the role of a compliance officer as far as research is concerned. What are the disclosures policy, what are disclaimer policies, all that we'll have to mention in the policy. Now the things, it does not end here, friends. This is, I think, a killing which many of us don't like. Personal trading is monitored, recorded, subject to formal approval process. So now, if the research analyst, they will have to go through a personal, they have to go through this process. Okay, I want to buy this. As a compliance officer, you have to see that whether it does not fall in the grey list, and then only you allow him to buy. So it should be monitored and recorded. Okay, so as I told you, the lots of cost will now be going to add in the research. Now this is important. Restriction on trading in the securities recommended. Now I really don't know that if I am giving, today is 11 February, if I am giving some research report today, it means I should not have traded from 11 January till today, and I will not trade up to 16th of January, 16th of February. So, any script in which I am doing a research will be closed for my trading, my associate trading also. There were a query which was put to me, who are associate. Associate is defined in Intermediate, means all relatives, all group companies, or companies in which I have more than 26%, companies which I have direct or indirect control, and companies which has direct or indirect control in me. They can also not trade. Now, how as a compliance officer, you are going to do this, I really don't. So it is not, you find research analyst, you will also be able to find who is going to be the associate or relative of those. So you will keep the list ready. And every month, you have to do a sign off whether you have traded, not traded, traded, not traded, your brother has traded, your associate company has traded, our company has traded, other division has traded. So these are all going to be difficult. No, I really don't know. One will have to sign off because today if I am issuing a research report, my compliance officer will have to sign off that look, in last 30 days, we have never entered in the script. Now tell me, I have purchased something on 25th January. Suddenly I have started preparing a research report and it is really good script to buy. I will not able to come out with a research report unless 1 month has been completed from last buy. So what I am doing? I am preventing good script to come in because I have purchased prior to 30 days. So as I have been telling you that in the strict regulations, the cream and the flavor has been going. Okay? And I don't know whether with this, anybody would like to be remain research analyst. There are lots of restrictions and once you go slowly, you understand, I think the research analyst which was the best position in broking house can become best position in the broking house with all the restrictions. Okay, so they will better become a dealer from the research, I don't know. Yeah, restriction on dealing or trading in security contrary to given recommendation. So if I say XYZ Group Sweep buy, then I cannot sell. No, period is not defined here. So I cannot do front running by the earlier. I cannot do a back exit. So normally what happens, you buy, so I can offload my securities in whatever I have. Okay, which I am sure today it is not happening. There is a wrong notions in the mind of regulators. But if I have given the recommendation of buy, I will not enter in actually selling the portfolio. Here surprisingly, there is no date or period defined. So I say 1 year horizon, buy XYZ, price target so and so. It means within 1 year I cannot sell the script which I have. Is a big question mark to friends. So what will happen? Person will stop giving out the research recommendation of the script which he holds or his associate holds. So it is stopping him to sell. Yeah, are you with me? Yes?
Yes.
So this is really something very cumbersome. Okay, purchase limitations. Now, one surprisingly, that if I have a jobbing desk or I have my proprietary desk, I have a client desk. I may have, and I have nothing to do with the client desk, it is been separately going on. Now I have my proprietary desk either in my broking entity or in my some other entity I do buying selling of shares. But as per this SEBI, this rule which I have said just now, this applies to even to the research entity who is buying. So what is happening? If I am taking out the research report, even to the entity, a brokerage entity or the associate also is applicable. Now this is something is not possible. So there is one room here that if you can segregate research activities and arm's length relation between such activities, then as a proprietor desk you are out of this. Now how virtually you are going to prove this, I really don't know. So now, of course, we will have to do lots of things. We can go on discussing only on this segregation. We can have 2 hours separate, talk. But if you can segregate your proprietor desk, insulate with your research and client desk, then still you can be out to buy and sell. Even the research has happened, but you have to prove. Onus is proof is on to you. There are 2 exceptions which you have given. The concept of significant news or a change. Now I have given some recommendation, but after my recommendation in 2 days, some news has come in the newspaper about some fraud in the company, about non-payment of loan or default by the company, or by somebody faxing a letter to SEBI, whatever news comes to you. Then, and if it is a significant news or a change, then you may sell within 5 days also. But then you have to prove that when after I give a research, if today is 11 February, tomorrow something comes in the newspaper or day after tomorrow, my 5 days of selling is not over. Okay? But I can still do, provided there is a significant news or a change. Okay? Next is unanticipated significant change in finance. Now he is a research analyst. There is a problem with the family members. There is a hospitalization, something. Then he may, after taking the approval of the compliance officer, he may be allowed to sell. Okay? But mind you, it should be unanticipated, significant change. So if I say the marriage was decided 6 months back, and now I have marriage of my sister, it is an anticipated change, so not allowed. Okay? The change is unanticipated, please understand. This is also very tricky. Now research analyst, now see this is how going, today all the research analysts get their incentive based on the brokerage, directly or indirectly they are generated. Now this whole part is gone. And that's why I am telling you, when a whole research analyst will come in some fixed fee mode with some bonus format and not a format based on the brokerage one. This is something I am going to tell you. one line is going to, because if I give a research report, if institution has liked the research report, they are giving you the orders. Company is running, why I should not run? But the answer is no, because the first line, the compensation of or the remuneration of the research analyst cannot be based on the brokerage earned. Simple. The second is, and the question somebody also has asked from Ahmedabad, that normally there is a voting by the institution for the research. Okay? And we get marks. But to my answer to them is, the law does not allow now, even the new act or other act still allowing, I think India is not been allowing. Now the compensation which I have to give, so for the time you do application to SEBI, you have to understand, you have to redesign the remuneration and the compensation to a research analyst. So their amount of their remunerations or salary will now not be based on any of this activity. Okay? Surprisingly, whenever you redesign and it is approved by some committee or board, the member of the board or the committee cannot be from broking, merchant banking division. So very surprisingly, if I am a director broking, I cannot decide the salary of my research analyst. I cannot be part of the committee. I really don't know how really going to happen. Other thing I have been surprised that many times there are two designated directors in a broking. Both are required to actively involve themselves in a broking. So there are no third director. Who will approve my remuneration? Nobody. See, simple. I have two directors. Both are designated directors. Both are actively engaged in broking. So who will engage? I don't know. So I think compliance officer in that case will get a right to decide the remuneration of the research analyst. Analyst shall not be subject to any supervision and control of any employee from the broking MBD division. So if I am research analyst, any entity, any employee of broking cannot govern what I have been doing. So next we will move to, and this too, that is a trading and remuneration is the most complex one will have to see. Now the next is publication of research report, public appearance. Of course, first I am not discussing because more of a public issue in further FPO and IPO. Second is very important, friends, and I would like you to consider in these two slides that how difficult going to be the life for the research and to the broking entity. But the research analyst not to participate in business activities designed to solicit investment banking, merchant banking or brokerage services. So I have to just give a research report. I cannot directly or indirectly, okay भैया हमको अभी आपको अच्छा लगा, you give me some order. No. So the communication which normally the research analyst communicate with the institutional rest, I think there is a break and Chinese wall. Now we will have to bring in between that communication cannot happen. So you cannot do this. So I really don't know if I give some research report and if I cannot solicit business, the brokerage is not going to earn, I am not going to get some fee-based, incentive-based fees. What I am going to get as a research analyst? Okay? Not to engage in any communication with a current or prospective client in the presence of person from investment banking, merchant banking or brokerage. So if I have a sales guy, marketing guy or broking, he is talking to a client, then I have to sit outside the cabin. We jointly cannot go to talk, okay, you give the transactions to me or you give some deal to me. So I am not supposed to listen. Next. So these are I really don't know how as a compliance officer you are going to monitor. You tell them, go with the camera, come out with the camera, give me the virtual camera with you, whether you are in there or not. Next is, investment banking or MBD or brokerage service division personal research analyst shall not direct research analysts to engage in sales or marketing. So one query which I received was, my person is doing sales and marketing, he also do research. No, that is not allowed today. So you have to understand, sales and marketing will have to be bifurcated from the research, and as a director or as any other person, I cannot say now you go and do a marketing or this thing. So research has brought, it is not a back office job, it has become the closed door job, full stop. He cannot go out. And he cannot be engaged in communication. Then next is to have adequate documentary basis supported by research. Okay, then he cannot provide any promises, that is okay, Next is, if I have two research analysts and if their views are not inconsistent, I should not publish the research report. Now as a compliance officer, how I am going to go there that I want him to buy, he is not recommending to buy. Now whether I have to publish research report? As per this, answer is no. The question was asked to us in an email, if there is an inconsistent view, how do we capture as a compliance officer? So there has to be a view format has to be now prepared. We will go and understand that who has recommended what script, when, on which media, buy, hold or this. So if I have recommended on XYZ TV or XYZ channel that you buy, and this gentleman goes on other television, nowadays talk show comes every time. So the media person will be after you. And also I don't think this script is good. So there is a conflict in the both view, then you should not create a research. In my mind, this conflict is healthy. It should be allowed that if the two research guy has a different view, you allow them to publish and let the client take decision. They may have a point of view, but the answer is no. Okay. The research entities and instead of individual employee research analysts are separate from other employees who are performing sales trading. How that happen, I don't know. Are you going to create a separate canteen? How they are going to be separate? Okay. How the independence? So if they are sitting on a lunch table, if they are talking, the independence is there or not, I really don't know. But the idea is that SIO is not a back office job, it is a closed door. That, oh, if there is nobody in the canteen, now I will go. If somebody comes in the canteen, close the lunch box, come back to your research room. Okay? So this is what the Act as on today friend want, and as a compliance officer, many of you present here, you have to do this job. Okay? So put your one of the guy also in the canteen, that whether independence is being maintained or not maintained. Next is disclosure. We'll take 5 minutes more and then we'll have, I'm sure we'll have lots of question answers. Or I don't know whether any questions now has remained. Okay. That is also, if you read the disclosure list, your disclosures and disclaimers will be 4 times higher or more than your research report. Okay. So you carry a page, 1 page research report, 10 page disclosures. Now what are the disclosure? Business activity of all the associate companies. Disciplinary history. So if some penalty, notice, some set orders are, some in my associate company, some orders have come, I have to write. Terms and conditions of which report is issued. Details of associate, financial interest and nature of such interest. So if my associate company is having an investment banking or is a data creditors or given some or taken some loan, then there is a financial interest, then I have to mention in the report. So as a compliance officer, we have to also write that if you are doing research in this particular script, do we have any financial interest? No, financial interest is not defined. Actual beneficial interest of more than 1%. Now this also is very important, that I have to mention that if I am taking out the research report of XYZ script, then I have to write that me or my associate is holding more than 1% actual or beneficial. So if I have an NBFC company who are also in LIS or margin trading, and they are also holding shares as a collateral, as a beneficial owner, whether I have to cover in the report, till today it is not clear. Because what they have said, you and all your associate company holding more than 1%, actual or beneficial. So normally in that loan against shares, NBFCs, who are against the margin trading or LIS, they hold the beneficial shares. So that also may come. So I don't know. We will have to really figure out. And query has already been sent to SEBI that what exactly the beneficial ownership. Somebody asked, sir, in client beneficiary account, all is beneficial shares. So I will be holding n number of shares. Material conflict of interest also has to be reported. Now that is not the end of it, friends. Actually, you have to attach all your balance sheet with the research report. What they say, compensation received from subject company in past 12 months. When I say subject company, the company in which you are doing a research. If I have to mention, so whatever amount I have received, I have to mention. So if I am doing research in XYZ script, I have given research report to institution, I have to write all this disclosure and look, I have not received any amount from in last 12 months, I have not managed any issues, I have not received any compensation in any of my division, in any of my associate, in any of my company. If you have received, please mention that on which account you have received this. So as a compliance officer, when the research is going on, by the time you also will have to clear the data. So from the beginning, if your research analyst says that I am going to start research in this script, I think his job is less, and as a compliance officer, your job is more. So you have to compile all this data, which company, associate company, research, all that. He will be through by the report, but I don't know he will be through by disclosure or not. Today I think there is no mention that whether can I put this disclosure on a website or not. So that also one will have to examine. Even if I received some amount from a third party, okay, if I am giving research report to XYZ institution, but I am getting some amount for that research report from third party, that also I will have to make a note of it. Okay, now very important questions. Now there is so many persons comes on various channels. Okay, backdrop is the firm name or the company's name. Then they speak so many things. Okay, and people follow them. They also will have to now mention the financial interest and actual beneficial interest of more than 1%. So they have to be very careful when we talking to media. Client relation with the subject company and nature of such relationship. Receive any compensation. So any person who goes for a public appearance will ask from a compliance officer that I am going to recommend XYZ or I am going to speak on XYZ script. What I am going to speak, he may not tell you. But for this XYZ script, give me all these disclosures. Okay? So like what happens in the news, in the media houses, if somebody expires today, you will get all histories tomorrow in the newspaper. Because they are already kept in the library. Okay? If some film star expires, you will find all the songs, all his history, schooling, birth date, whatever XYZ. They don't prepare overnight. It already stored. So similarly, as a compliance officer, you will have to store so many things with you. So when your person is going to a TV or public appearance, he may ask things from you which may have to disclose before he give the research talk on the public media. Even if he has served as officer director of the subject company. So if I am coming out of some company and I join a broking house, so I have to mention this also. This is also a content I am not covering, is okay. But this is very important. Normally what happens, there is one research house. Now we really don't know the research report goes to proprietary desk, PMS, HNI or a retail client. Who is to be first recipient of the research report? Is a big question in all broking house today. But this act has said that you cannot selectively making available research report on various categories of clients. So I think there one will have to really work hard. Normally, today if I send a research report to institution, tomorrow I make it a public, or after 2 days I may make it a public for my HNI, or after 3 days I make for a retail. If that is the scenario, then there is some stoppage here in this. Or whether I should mention that the report is first going to be institution, after 2 days it will come to HNI, and after 2 days thereafter it can go to retail. So when you are reading, you understand that this report is used for last 4 days. Okay, but Act does not say it treat all the research person at par. So going forward, a broking house may require to create a separate research team for institution, for HNI and for retail, and they do independent research for all of them, and merging will not happen, so there is no overlapping or co-mingling of the activity, right? There are so many questions which has come that we are using the consultant for giving the research report. We pay consultancy fee, or we have appointed somebody, he gives us and we print something. Let me just tell you, summarize this, that normally what happens. There are 2-3 things. That I have a research department, I take help of somebody, after taking his help I prepare my research report and then send. Or I take his report, put his name and then send. What are the activities you have to identify? But let me tell you, in whatever case, that third person who is an independent research analyst will have to get registered as a research analyst, because if you are taking the report from somebody, whether you put your stamp or not put your stamp, and he is not a registered research analyst, that is not correct under the law. So I have seen many consultants who don't want to get registered as a research analyst. So as a broking entity, I think for you, the relation can stop, because you are buying the research from an unregistered research analyst. So this is the thing one will have to work out, that whether he will, only if he, and many persons get research report from a company, enterprise, entity or a person, all if will have to first register, and then only you can have a data. So you and that research analyst can jointly give the report. But if as a broking entity you are giving the report based on his finding, then it is your duty to verify that the recommendation is factually come out, or the procedure has been followed or not. Now many have questioned that I don't do only research, I just go to public television or radio, I talk and come out. So we don't do any research report. There are many analysts you see, they come for technical, come for a talk and go. To them, the registration is not applicable, but they will have to follow this chapter 3 regulations, and the trading and compensation, everything will still follow. So there is another angle to it. That if I go to television just to speak, I am not from broking entity, I don't issue research report, and I don't get registered, then also this act is applicable to me as far as limitation of trading is concerned and compensation is concerned. Now there is a general responsibilities, arm's length relationship, abide by code of, apart from all these, there is a separate code of conduct, friends. Okay? Conflict of interest, compliance, professional standard, the question which was asked, as a director, what are our responsibilities? If you see the code of conduct, last line of responsibility, they have said, it is a duty of the senior management to ensure that the compliance of this regulation has been done. So as a director, you will cannot escape from your duty. Okay? And the last is maintenance of the records. research report duly signed and dated. So friends, the time you do this, you have to number the research report by whatever name, like you do a KYC of a client. The Bhavesh Roy has given the research report, BV 001, 002, 003, whatever number. Otherwise, how we are going to maintain the record? Rationale for arriving research recommendation. So if the research analyst is given the research report, you also will have to ask, please give why you are giving this research. So what data you examine, why do you feel on, what are the facts, all that you will give various graph, whatever, this will be part of research report, and this you have to maintain, friends. Record of public opinions. A question was asked by one of the broker that what should be meant by record of public opinions? Any time before he is going to any media, he should say which media he is going, what time he is going, who is going. After coming, he should say which script he has talked, what he has talked about the script, whether he has purchased, not purchased, or whether all compliance has been done. So as that all record of public appearance also you have to maintain. So if any research analyst goes to television or radio quite often, I think they will have to maintain the log, which is to be kept and monitored by you. Record can be maintained in physical form or electronic form, and the icing on the cake and some more expenditure and good for us is get annual audit in respect of compliances by practicing CA or CS. After doing all this, okay, appoint a chartered accountant or a company secretary, ask him to do the job, give the report, and give him a report that you have done all the compliances under the Act. So the audit report format has not come. I am sure, friends, in 6 months it is going to come. So get ready. So one more audit report to be filed by a broker or to be obtained by a broker. I think, I really don't know why it cannot be part of the half-yearly internal audit report or not. I think the questions still not debated. And appointment of compliance officer. So many of compliance officers which I know who are present here. If you are doing a broking, or then also you can be a compliance officer of this division also. So there is no problem. Okay, and with this, I think, friends, we come to end of this presentation. But one thing I would like to tell you, the act which we are seeing today is really you have to do lots of homework. It is not a regulations, it is asking you to change the culture, the conduct of the business in your organizations. So unless that is going to be changed, you cannot do compliances. The way your research report goes, the way your person talks to the institution client, the way you remunerate him, way he do buying and selling, first you have to see that the compliances are there on the floor, then you can do the activity. I am telling you, otherwise this is going to be a difficult part. And my idea, friends, is not to scare you today or not to make you, afraid of the act, but to make you prepare that what is there if you really want to follow the act. Because the act is not giving you do something which is already existing. Act is telling you two things. Change the things what you are doing till today and then monitor and comply. Now that change part is not maybe in your hand, it's the management call, director's call, it's also the philosophy of the management, how they really want to, and once they do their part of job, then this overall compliance starts. Otherwise, you cannot do something differently and maintain something differently. So please understand, talk to your management that this is not something we have to do, this is something you have to implement or inculcate within your culture, then only you will be able to perform this. Friends, with this, I think I end my presentations. We have 10 minutes for questions. If you have any, I am here to answer. Please see that your questions are very crisp and to the points, and we can answer. I think there is somebody who are behind. Don't ask very long questions.
Hi sir, this is Amit Anwani. Just considering hypothetically that there is no research team.
Can you keep the mic a little away?
Hello, am I audible? Just considering hypothetically that there is no research team and dealers to talk to a lot of clients, and sometimes clients ask them what to do about the particular stock.
No, I'm not able to hear you.
Hello?
Yeah. Can you speak little louder?
Yeah. Am I audible now?
No, I think it's echoing. or come here and speak. Come here, then exercise. Then I repeat your question, it is not very, Meanwhile, other, if you can keep your questions ready.
What is the best way under the exempted category, and what activities can be conducted without following the entire this sequence of the regulations?
I'll answer this. Can you speak here, or you can speak here? Yeah, please.
The question is, for example, if there is no research team or very limited research team, the dealers do talk to a lot of clients, and sometimes clients do ask them what to do about their scripts. So sometimes they also give some kind of target or buy sell hold. So as per your definition in that rule, I think dealers too, or even portfolio managers who are writing electronically to their clients should get covered in this law. So they also might have to say.
Well, if dealer are talking to a client, you have to refer to unauthenticated news, because they are not supposed to talk to client on any particular script. If this is good or this is bad. I think there is a circular which is not still written of unauthenticated news, which dealer tells from the blog or something. So that is not, because dealer cannot be research analyst, because the time he is in research he cannot be dealer. Okay? So first is answered. Second, as a portfolio manager, if I do a research for my own clients, which is not going to outside, then there is an exempted category. But if I give a research report to a general clients or on a public media, or I do print something, some book which goes to everybody in general, then yes, it is applicable. But for dealer, otherwise they are not supposed to speak on the script. They have to just follow the instruction what they receive. If they are advising the client on what to buy, what to not buy, based on that, because what would have happened, normally the technical calls goes to the dealer first, which should be stopped. Okay? Because what happens, the technical call goes to the dealer and then dealer tells to client, does not go to client, but that has to be stopped. You have a question?
I have a question. Yeah.
One minute, just, yeah, first.
Under the exempted category, what is the best one can do? What activities can be carried out under exempted category? If I don't want to go through the entire process of this the regulations.
Two things, exempted category is for brokers are not exempted. So you are covered. Now still you don't want to get into this all. Then you should not issue a research report. If you don't issue the research report, then you are out and you may not require to be registered also. So there cannot be any SMS, email or any report going from research your organization to your client. Then you will be out. If you are involved in research activity in whatever form, you will be still be in.
But we can use the internal research report for buying, selling on our own behalf.
Pro account there is no, because if you are doing a pro account, then you can have internal research report, there is no stoppage.
And even clients, we don't give them the report, but we also do the activity for buying, selling.
No, that I will not advise, because if you are doing a buying selling on behalf of client, without their placing the order, then it is a deemed portfolio management services, there are issues. Because if you do a buying selling on behalf of a client, without issuing research report, but you use your discretion, under portfolio management regulations, you are covered. So avoid doing that.
So you have said this investment advisors, they are
Yeah.
investment advisors. They are exempted from the search report.
Investment advisors, they are exempted. Yeah.
And you explain the definition of the investment advisor in the context of the search report.
You want me to explain the investment advisor definition?
In the context of the search report.
Yeah, okay. Very simple, I explained in the beginning. If you do any investment advice for a consideration of the fees, you are covered by investment advisor regulations. Okay? So there is a very clear-cut definition that okay, I am going to get fees from day one. There is a proper agreement
Or the search report.
for issuing the research, for giving investment advice of anything. Okay? So you will be out of this if you are registered as an investment advisor. To my mind, it is easier to register as an investment advisor to research analyst regulations.
Hello.
But I don't know whether client will give you fees, because today in the market there is no practice of client giving you fees for the research report. So you have to convert the client of charging something or some.
Earlier you had said, this in your presentation, if the investment advisor, they are paid for the research reports, they
Investor?
are not covered.
No, I am not
They
able
are
to.
paid for the research reports.
No, you have to.
If they are paid,
If you are paid,
if they are paid for the research notes issued by them,
who is paying?
those are exempted under this.
Yeah, no, who is paying to whom?
From the clients.
If the client is paying to research for research report
Yes.
to XYZ,
Yes.
then that XYZ is an investment advisor, not a research analyst.
Then he is exempted.
Please, I am here to answer that.
So, my question is basically.
थोड़ा बात.
Yeah, can you hear me now? Yeah, my question is basically, say if the company or a director in the company has bought a particular script, a few days later the results come out or some news comes out which induces the research department to take it under coverage, then would the rule of that 30-day prior and 5-day later still be implemented, and how?
Yeah, so you also have in proper account it is purchase or direct as personal account it is purchase. Both.
If say either one would be.
So as I told you, in that case, you will not be able to come out with a research report within 30 days of your purchase.
Okay, that's it. But then there is no this thing. 30 days. After 30 days, I can come out with a research report.
Yeah, but by the time the cream has gone.
All is different.
Only thing, there is a rule of independence that I have covered in my slide. That how do you distinguish? If I given you an exemption, that segregation of duties that you should refer.
If the registration fee is the same in respect of the size of the.
Yes.
And I have one more question.
Well, can we cover somebody else and I can definitely come to you.
Can I?
Yeah, you are there.
Yeah, continuing from this question, in the case of investment advisors, to register as an investment advisor, stockbrokers are specifically exempted. So, is there any connection where we can draw benefit that we are exempted as registration for
good question.
investment advisors? So, therefore, we should be exempted from this. I'm just trying to draw.
Yeah, good, very good question. Now, if you read the Investment Advisor Act, it is written stockbroker giving investment advices pursuant to their stockbroking activity.
So research is incidental to the stockbroking activity, which is in the nature of investment advice.
Right. That's why if you are getting the fees, it is not pursuant to your stockbroking activity, it is a separate activity. There is a very clear-cut distinction. What you say is correct. If you read the Act of Investment Advisor, there are so many exemptions, including chartered accountants are also exempt. But they are very clearly written, stockbrokers are exempt from investment advisor regulations, provided they give investment advice pursuant to their investment stockbroking activity. So if I am giving pursuant to my stockbroking activity for which I am not charging, then research analyst. If I decide to charge, investment advisor. As a separate activity, it's very thin line.
So if a broking house has a mix of both, like for example, you have a lot of institutions that give for corporate access or for arranging meetings and only for your research, they may not give you broking business.
Investment advisor.
So, but that's what the query is. If there is a mix of both, then what happens?
No, you have to first bifurcate because brokers are allowed to take investment advisor license. Please understand. They are exempted if they don't want to. But if they are going to apply for investment advisor license, they are getting the investment advisor license. So there is no bar. What we are doing, we are creating a separate business vertical for getting the fees for the research. Okay? Then it is.
And on the issue of personal trading, I guess the new insider trading regulations are also going to get effective in May.
It's going to be, I was just reading both ahead.
So my query is that the holding period there is 6 months, so that would override this.
Yeah. Actually, they
So
have already done
in that
considered.
case, I mean, all this becomes fairly redundant.
No, to my mind, in the new insider trading regulations, they have to give the business plan or purchase plan of 6 months and all that. Please understand, the research analyst cannot be an insider. If he is an insider, Insider Act will prevail. Please understand. If you read the new Insider Act, now I have to give my purchase plan of 6 months in advance. And it is to be publicized. So it is a very, very bad act. I don't know how many of you read. But by doing a research, suppose today I have decided to research in XYZ script. If I am an insider, so that act is a supreme act that will apply. But as a research analyst, I am not an insider.
No, being an employee of the research entity, by default you become a covered employee.
No, please understand. When you talk the insider, you are becoming insider of the subject company. You are not an insider of that company. That will come under front running. Suppose I am taking your question, I understood. So don't get confused on whether I have news about XYZ company, that they are going to declare bonus, dividend, there is split in the management. No news where I am insider.
So have not SEBI got any representation on the issue?
No, that you will answer. But you, the red shirt. No, yeah, you are only red. Why you looking? Mike, that I cannot. You speak loudly, no? You look very young. Come.
Hello.
No, the voices come from somewhere else. Yeah, wait.
The question is regarding personal trading for research analysts. For example, the Act got implemented from December 1st, 2014. Now take a hypothetical case wherein a research analyst enters a stock, say on November 28th, and sells a stock on December 3rd. And he has given a buy recommendation on November 28th. So what would be the scenario like?
First one is highly hypothetical. Then also I will answer. The 30 days will travel prior to 1st December.
1st December.
It will always travel. So if, first of all, you will not get a license only. You will not apply it. Okay. But 30 days will go and break that 1st December boundary and go to the prior 30 days.
But the Act is applicable from December 1st, right?
Understood? So even in December 3rd, if you are giving research, if you have purchased in November, you should not take out the research report.
No, but if we have released the research report in the month of November itself,
Then fine, no?
then fine.
Yeah.
We have last question, yeah.
Yeah, if suppose there are 10 analysts are there, and one analyst come out with the report. So whether other 9 analysts can purchase or sell?
Provided there is an independence. See, your question is the other analyst, because the rule says analyst wise. If they are combining, if it is my junior,
No, he is an independent. He is separate analysts are there.
yeah, then it will not, because otherwise it to associate is applicable, to other analysts it is not applicable.
Okay, thank you.
But your bonus is on you to prove.
Sir, the last one.
So don't do a cross that you take my report, I take your report.
Sir, the last one.
Don't plan on that line, what I want to do.
Yeah, see, I have a basic question. See, in a broking outfit, besides research analysts, we have a compartmental system like sales people.
No, I will just say.
Yeah, sales and then technical analyst. Okay, sales people, first I want to make clear there is something called what is law, what is being practiced. Banking law and practice, whatever being practiced, no, you cannot be strictly in conformity with the law. There are certain procedures, which it will appear to be keeping in alignment with the spirits, though it may not strictly follow the rules. Here I have basic questions. As a sales guy, what is happening is in broking outfits, they also come out with a one-page report. Suppose in research, we have 50 scripts in my coverage. Okay, as per if you go strictly by the law, I can talk only about the 50 scripts. Outside the purview of 50 scripts, as of now, the law doesn't permit me to express any view, either buy, sell, hold, accumulate, nothing of that sort is possible outside the 50 scripts. As of now, what is happening is, as a sales guy, suppose, say for example, Larson's, let me be specific. For various reasons, I find the script attractive due to macro factors, what is going to happen in terms of policies, budget, etc., etc. I become positive. I prepare one small one-page report. Not necessarily with the price target. As of now, it is permitted. That is, as of now means when I say before the regulation has come into effect. Now, can I continue with this? See, it is not a strict buy. What I am saying is Larsen is not a strict buy as per my research analyst. He has put it in review or say hold or accumulate. That sort of recommendation is there. Not necessarily a sell. It is not conflicting the research analyst view. But at the same time, the rating what I have in mind is not in sync with what the analyst has in mind. Okay, this is purely based on whatever factors I foresee. It is not something speculative or something. It is based on some genuine factors.
You come to a question.
So whether it is permitted, or in case if you feel if it is not permitted, how to circumvent that? Because the spirit is basically, sales people should be in a position to express their views.
Okay, I'll answer this.
This is one same way technically also. Technically also, see, as I know what is permitted is, besides these 50 scripts, I can only talk about the index. Here also, a specific stock view based on technical factors. It is not something speculative. So I want to know whether sales people can take a view, and similarly, technical analysts can take a view, which is not necessarily backed by detailed fundamental research.
I'll answer. 3 lines. First, law and logic does not go together. So practice and law will never go, otherwise we are not here. Second, it is a conflict of 2 research analysis view. You should not print the report. Third, sales has no right to do research. If he is doing research, he has to be either research analyst. He cannot wear 2 caps. That okay, I am sales now and I am research now. He can't go on changing. He has to decide what he wants to do. Okay? Technical analysis is a research. If it is a script based, not an index based, he is covered under research analyst. He has to follow the rules. Okay? I told you we can take full line, but as I told you, one line, segregations by intent, not by act. No, see, that is the segregation, physical segregation. The segregation only is not physical, that you shift the research office to other building or some Nariman point. That is one of the part, not the end of it. You have to segregate the decision-making faculties, the influencers to him, whom he reports, how he reports, what he is getting, how both are not connected, how both are not going there, lots of things.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bora, for your time over here. I'm sure there are many questions, so we can connect later at the forum office. Please look forward to his article in the magazine, which will be coming. Thank you once again, Mr. Bora. Can we have some claps, please, for his time? I would request our board member, Nalin Shah, present over here to kindly present a memento to Mr. Bora.
It is not for the compensation.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We look forward to having you once again for various seminars. Thank you.